Hey, what's going on YouTube? I know it's been a little minute since I've posted my last video, but I've just been really busy, and now I got a little time off, so I've been trying to do a little bit of maintenance on my 72 C10, and it's getting really, as the years go by, it's getting to where I think technology is making us more stupid every day. I mean, I go to try to get a fuel filter for my truck. I wanted a glass fuel filter. This is the only ones I could find, because she says, well, I need a year, make, and model. I said, it's not going to be a year, make, and model, because it's a custom built motor that didn't come in that truck, and so therefore you're not going to be able to find the one I want. I said, I need a clear filter, just so it's just y'all probably know what I'm talking about. Everything goes by year, make, and model on the computer, and if you try to design or make something yourself, you can even tell them the hose size. I need a fuel filter for this kind of hose, for this size of a hose. They don't know how to look that up. That's crazy. Another thing I had to go and find myself, is a air filter. Because I created my own bat wing. Oops. Yeah, it's still there. Let's see if it's still there. Adjusted the focus on, did something. Okay, anyway, I adjusted I made my own carburetor cover out of an Oldsmobile, like a 53 or 54, something like that Oldsmobile. And so I took the top off, and this thing originally came with like an oil reservoir that went underneath it, and I turned it into just a regular old air filter. Well, then again, you just can't tell them. My point is if you try to invent something or create something yourself, you're not going to be able to find replacement parts for it unless you be sure and hang on to the model number of the parts you're using. And even at that, you're not going to get to go back there in the auto parts store and just get what you want. You got all these people that are trying to tell you, because they're not being lazy, they ain't no way for them to look it up, and they'll be back there for hours trying to find your crap. But back in the day when I was growing up, man, you'd go in there with an air filter cleaner or a V-belt size, and you would tell them, like, the V-belt here, that's getting harder to find. I had to take my fan off of my V-belt because I kept going through V-belts like crazy. And I don't want to put all that serpentine stuff on my motor because I like the V-belt look. It's the old school look. I like the old school look. I want to keep it as much as original as I can, looking that way. But I had to go ahead and get me an electric air fan and put on here because it was wearing out my V-belts massively quick. And so to find a good one, I didn't have many options. I had one or two to choose from. That was it. Back in the day, you had a whole fleet of them, all kinds of different, all kinds of options. Now, as the years go by, options are getting very, very smaller and very slim, and pretty soon, you're not going to be able to do nothing without being like everybody else, driving what everybody else drives. Nothing special, just factory. You don't want to. They're going to make it so hard for anybody to be, what do you call it? Entrepreneurs, somebody that invents stuff for themselves, somebody that goes outside the box and creates something on their own. Well, be aware, my friends. If you're that kind of a person, it's going to get harder and harder and harder to do. I can't believe technology is down to my spark plug wires. See the spark plug wires? Those spark plug wires, I order factory spark plugs wires, and they don't want to go around. I could just go on and on and on. They didn't want to go around here and make it to where I could keep these cable wires off my exhaust manifold. And another thing is I went the other day, my donut was wearing out, and I had to replace the donut. And they said, well, I need a year. I said, it's not a year, make, and model. I took this exhaust manifold off, and I took it down there in person, and I said, look, there's the size, you can just match it up. We still need a year, make, and model. So finally, the manager, he said, man, I'll help you out. He said, I'm just going to have to do it manually. I said, what do you mean manually? He said, I'm going to have to go back there and I'm going to have to look at all the ones that we got until I find one that fits. I said, well, that's what it's going to take with anything that I come in here with, man. With this truck, you're just going to have to match it up and give me what it takes. And he says, well, it's going to be harder for you to find people to do that for you because they're not going to go back there and waste time. I said, and that kind of offended me. You're wasting time? I'm a paying customer. That's not wasted time. You know, you're satisfying the customer. That's what the whole gig is here. You're supposed to satisfy good service, good customer service. That's everybody's slogan out there with businesses. Oh, I got to give them good customer service. Well, then when somebody comes in there in a situation like mine, you got to help them. You just can't tell them you can't find it, because you're going to lose that customer, and they might not ever come back in there again. In fact, there's just some of these auto parts stores around here. If I ain't friends with them or come in there and you know, kiss up and, you know, bring them a candy bar or a bag of chips or just whatever, becoming, you know, a good acquaintance with them, then you're not going to get nothing out of them. You gotta suck up to them and make them feel special, and then that way they'll do what they call waste time. Anyway, I'll see y'all later. In a bad mood now. I was in a good mood trying to do all this, and now I'm in a bad mood because the way the world's going, we're screwed, man. We're screwed. I don't see anybody out there in the future doing anything out of the ordinary. Everything's going to be cut and dry, you know. Be like everybody else or move the hell on. Anyway, I'll see y'all later till next time. Let me know in the comments below how you feel. Limster out.